You've seen all the overhyped AI tools, 7 different tools for super niche purposes, and all the while, everyone's screaming in your face to be using AI. Now, to be completely direct, you have 3 options. Number 1, label it as false hype and don't use AI at all, fall for all the noise and use every AI tool under the sun, or lastly, use just a couple of the right tools. So in this video, I'll aim to cut out all the noise and walk through the 2 simple tools that I've been using for about the past 6 months for my own brand and for clients. And I'd also like to note that these are by no means the best tools out there. They're just the tools that I've personally used and had good experiences with throughout my journey after testing a handful of tools. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this is the first tool, and it's going to be the powerhouse that we use for strategy, ideation, and scripting every single piece of content that we post. As you can see, I've already done a lot with this tool and opened up my own board and used it for a lot of different purposes. So I know this may look confusing. So what I'll be doing over the next 10 minutes or so is just creating a fresh board and walking through the entire process of setting this up to get the best result and showing exactly how it's all going to work. So if I come back to the homepage here and I go ahead and click on new board, what it will do is open up a fresh board. Obviously, we'll go ahead and title this content board. And as we can see, they already have this template right here where we can click on viral script creator. Looks like there's also just these little prompts right here for having an AI chat, adding text, record voice, documents, all the little features that they have. But if we also look at this left side toolbar right here, these are all the features as well. So we're not going to be using any of those. We're just going to be starting completely from scratch because honestly, it's really easy to use this tool. And just to preface how this really works and what comes down to the success using this tool, it's really made up of 3 different aspects. You have your groupings where you want to train the AI on everything about you and basically the specific result that you're looking for. Then we have a separate grouping that is aimed at training it on the results that you're looking for in terms of whatever you're prompting it to do. Let's say scripting short form content. Then we want to make a separate grouping that's going to specifically train it on basically the entire framework for it to follow so that the AI is not following random frameworks, and so that we can basically teach it and train it from experts in any field of no matter what it's doing with that other groupings. Those are the 2 groupings. And then we of course have this AI chat right here, which will connect to both of those and start updating its memory and training it. As well as on the note of this AI chat right here, there's actually a lot that goes on within this section of this tool as well, because if you click right here, you can see that you have access to a handful of different AI tools. You have Claude 4, Claude 3.7, GPT-5, 4.0, Gemini 2.5, and you also have Grok. And of course we have the GPT-5 mini. And if you also check right here with this little create image button, they also have image generation. I believe this is a newer feature. But now getting back to the setup side of things, I'm going to go ahead and click G once again to get our second grouping here. We're going to go ahead and title these. This first grouping is going to represent my brand. So I'm just going to call this my brand, and the AI will actually reference using the titles of these groupings. So that does matter. And right here, we're going to title this one, how to develop a social media strategy. Because when we're stepping into building a profitable long-term personal brand, there's going to be 3 main sections on this board, just like you saw with my other board that was scattered with tons of different groupings and AI chats. We're going to focus on 3 core sections, which is number 1, going to be social media strategy, planning what levers you're going to even be pulling in the first place. Second being our short form scripting of short form content. And lastly, long form content. Now you can go through a lot more lengths to have sections for thumbnails, for YouTube titles specifically, for landing pages, for emails. But since we're focused on building a long-term profitable personal brand, we're going to stick to these 3 core pillars. And depending on your situation, you can definitely go ahead and make really whatever different separate chats and groupings for whatever it is that you need help with. Now, when it comes to the training and setup process of getting this tool running the best way possible, I'm basically just going to come over here and plug some of the most relevant videos on my Instagram, as well as long form videos on my YouTube to train every single AI chat about my brand, about basically how I talk, my tone, what I talk about. I'm also going to plug in a section for my case studies, for a rundown of my offer, more about my business specifically. And you'll see that this plugs into every chat because across strategy, scripting, short form, and long form, we want to tie in our brand, our tone, our messaging, our offer, all of those details so that the AI chat isn't creating random information, but it's actually catering everything that it generates to us specifically. So the content is very authentic and it's none of the AI really generalized common wording or anything like that that we see with a lot of other tools. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. It'll take a few minutes and I'll throw this in 2x speed. Okay, now that we've set up this group right here that's titled My Brand with a few of what I would consider my most core short form videos and long form videos that really break down my messaging and break down just my core touch points throughout my just brand online, then this is ready right here. What I'll go ahead and do is make a new grouping and I'll title this My Offer and Case Studies. Then I'll go ahead and plug a few videos into here, such as a YouTube video that's a client testimonial interview. And then what I've also done is taken this text right here that was just basically on a separate doc that I'm also going to plug into this grouping with this text feature that is over here once again on the left-hand side toolbar right here. I'm just going to plug this into the same one. And then what I'll next do is basically grab this arrow right here that's connected to every grouping and AI chat right here. And I'll grab the same one with this grouping over here for my case studies and offer. And I'll just plug these straight into the AI chat right here and basically type in a simple prompt. And I can also expand on this chat right here by just clicking full screen. Now that it's plugged in, I'll go ahead and ask it a prompt so that basically it's going to pull from the transcriptions of those videos that are in the groupings. It has the full transcription, so it knows what I talk about in the video. It gets to understand my messaging once again, my offer, my tone, words that I commonly say, phrases, terms, etc. So now what we'll do is type in a simple prompt like this, something like based on my brand and offer and case studies. Remember, we're tying this back in with the titles of those groupings because the AI is going to go pull from the board and see what those titles are of those groupings. So we're going to say based on my brand and my offer and case studies, which is the other grouping, how do I talk? What's my messaging like? And what does my offer consist of? We're going to do this so that the AI chat spews out all this information, automatically updating its memory so that before we have the AI chat start generating scripts for content, we know that it's catered and tailored to our specific messaging and the results that we're looking for. So go ahead and click enter here and wait a little bit to see what the AI generates. So as we can see by the result, it understands my core messaging style. It's seeing that I'm direct and results focused. It sees that I have a problem first approach. It's quoting a lot of what I say repetitively in my content. It's saying I'm systems oriented when it comes to language. It also outlines my offer structure, which I gave it with the text. And then when it comes to my key messaging themes, it's listed some of those as well, such as trust over volume, belief shifting content, working backwards, etc. So now that we know that this AI chat right here is trained on everything about my brand, the way I talk, my tone, my offer, case studies, everything like that, we know that the results it's going to generate is actually relevant to what we want to create and the type of content that we want to make and just what we want to talk about in general. So the next phase of setting things up is now going to be to set up this grouping here that is titled how to develop a social media strategy. And as we talked about, these are basically the groupings where we're able to have full control over what the AI generates. We're able to train the AI on how to think about different results and what we want it to make. And so in this specific situation, we're going to train it on the right way of developing a social media strategy. And so there's a few different things that we can do here. Number one, if we want to spend a little bit more time, we can actually type up just in a text box right here, everything about how we want it to go about building a social media strategy, which is going to be, congruent with the results that it's generating in this chat. This AI chat is going to be all about, helping us with strategy, helping us with giving us levers to pull, different things to do just throughout the process of growing our brand. And what we can also do is plug in other videos where it can take those transcripts from well-known credible creators. So that's what we're going to do right here. I'm just going to take the same title, hop over to YouTube and just paste this into the search column right here. So I'll just take a couple links of videos right here once again, plug it into this grouping. I'll take a video right here from Gary Vee. And now that these 3 videos have been transcribed, I'll go ahead and once again plug this into the AI chat, head into the prompting section, and then once again say based on the name of the grouping, what do you know about developing a social media strategy? We'll go ahead and click enter, open up the full screen. And as we can see right here, it's dropped some pretty good framework. It's got core foundation elements, starting with your clear goals, understanding your business model first, doing your audience and market research, knowing your avatar, competitor analysis, platform selection strategy, content strategy framework, pillars, content mix. It's also mixing in my strategy right here, the trust content ecosystem. It talks about systems and execution, measurement and optimization, advanced strategy insights, and a lot of other things throughout this result it generated right here. So once again, to be clear, this will be the chat that we refer back to whenever we're looking to pull new levers or we're curious about different moves that we'll make, or if videos are congruent with our brand. We can rely on this for most of the bigger picture ideas that we have or implementations that we want to make that we might just be uncertain of. So the next thing that we'll do here is once again make another grouping, and then we'll title this one how to write short form scripts. Then we'll go ahead and make another AI chat. And then we'll also go over to YouTube and basically just look up guides on people that really know what they're talking about covering the same topic, which is how to write short form scripts. We'll take this video right here, this video as well, and then one more video right here. Now, once again, we'll also plug in this same grouping that covers everything about our brand so that it's still taking reference from our messaging, from our tonality, everything like that, just like we are in the strategy AI chat right here. We want to do the same thing here with every single AI chat and grouping that we make so that it's still tailored, it's still relevant to the way that we talk and just what we want to talk about in general. And we're also going to take the same prompt that we first asked in this first chat to make sure that it takes note of everything about our brand, our offer, and anything else that you plug into those groupings. So go ahead and ask it the same question. And then while it's generating that, we'll also plug in this chat right here to the AI on how to write short form scripts. We can see that it's given us basically the same answer as it has up here. It's most likely identical. And then we'll pop this into full screen. And next we'll ask it, based on the title of this grouping, how do you write short form scripts? And then as we can see, we'll get the answer generated right here. It'll automatically update its memory based on what we got from these videos right here from very credible sources that got a lot of views in their videos and obviously do really well on social media themselves. So we're just taking these exact transcripts, plugging it into this AI chat to update its memory and make sure that it's making scripts that are the same level and congruent with big names in the space of social media. So we can see it's outlined the entire structure of how to write a script in the first place: intro, hook, it's got the body structure, it's got the outro, and it's got a whole lot more information on here. Now, the last thing that we'll do to set up this ideation powerhouse and scripting powerhouse is we'll come over here, we'll take the same title, but we'll change this to long form scripts. Then we'll go over to YouTube and we'll just do the same thing. We'll just change this with long form instead of short form. And then we'll look for videos that are specifically tailored to YouTube. So we can see this video right here, how I write and use scripts for YouTube videos. This looks like a good one. So we'll go ahead and plug this in here. This one's Meet the Secret Scriptwriter, getting YouTubers millions of views. So we'll take this as well. And then lastly, we'll take Killer YouTube Scripts Explained, plug this in here. And then once again, head over to the AI chat section right here on the left-hand side toolbar. We'll plug in this video right here, as well as our two groupings at the top. And then we'll just prompt it with the same thing that we have in the other two AI chats to make sure it's tailoring these scripts to our brand and to our offer, to any information that we have and want to give it. And then we'll next take this prompt right here. And then once again, just switch around the wording and change short to long. Then we'll click enter right here. And just like that, as we can see, we have a full AI powered ideation, strategy, and scripting system where we're then able to plug in similar prompts like we would with a common language model such as ChatGPT, ask it to generate a certain amount of scripts on a certain topic, and we can get better results simply because it's tailored to our tonality. It's trained on what professionals are articulating as the best way to get a certain outcome on whatever it is it's generating scripts for. But then what we can also do when it comes to ideation and competitor research and finding just ideas and what to make content about is we can actually come over here, and let's say that we wanted to make a video about content strategy. I could head over here and actually take this video from Hormozy, and I could actually come back to the board, and let's say that I wanted to make a YouTube video about this. I could actually just paste this right here and I could plug it into this AI chat, and a prompt that I would give it to remake the same concepts, the same touch points and structure of the video, but using my tonality and more tailored to something that I would want to talk about. What we'll do is we'll take the title of this video, we'll open up this AI chat, and then we'll give it a simple prompt like this, such as using the touch points from the YouTube video title right here, where it will take and reference the transcript and what's being talked about, the touch points, the structure of the video. We'll then say script a YouTube video for me based on my brand and my offer and case studies. We'll go ahead and plug this in. And then as we can see, it's tailored the messaging and the title of the video to be a lot more relevant with my brand and my offer and what I usually make videos about. But it looks like it's taken a very similar structure where it has the 3 systems framework, which is most likely what's talked about in that other video. And you can basically see that reflected throughout this script with the structure and the overall touch points, but it weaves in my messaging, my tone, and how I commonly talk, what I usually talk about into the script as well. So we've basically taken a viral successful touch point from a well-known creator, reshaped it and remolded it to fit my brand a bit more. And now we have an authentic piece of content using market research to back the fact that it would probably do well. Now that we've officially cut down the time that we would usually have to spend ideating and scripting content and developing on our overall content strategy and the moves that we want to make to grow our brands, we're next, of course, going to go into the filming stage of the process that of course can't yet really be replaced by AI unless you use an AI avatar, but it's not really at the stage where it looks completely perfect. And so the best practice and little piece of value that I want to leave you with is batching content, which basically consists of filming a lot of content in one single sitting. Since we're using AI to handle the ideation and the scripting, that's done very smoothly and very fast. So we'll have multiple scripts for short form and for long form all ready to go. And then if we sit down just in one sitting and film a lot of content at once, we block it off on our calendars, it can be a lot more efficient for our overall workflows. So with that said, the next tool that's going to help us with our workflow of going from idea to execution and having a ready to go piece of content is going to be the tool that helps with the editing process. And I've used a few, and from what I've seen, this one generates the best results with the cleanest captions, very minimal errors compared to others, and it's just really easy to do. It doesn't take very much time. So basically, I won't do a full demo walkthrough of how this works, but as you can see, it's got its core features right here. This is basically generating simple captions. This is taking your short form videos and just editing them into full ready to go pieces of content. This feature right here is clipping videos. This is where you can put in basically a long form video, clip it into multiple little timestamps and shorts to repurpose that long form content into shorts. And that one's right here. This one must be clipping videos. It looks like combining multiple clips together into one. That's another feature that they have. And then repurposing, that is the Get Magic clips right here. You can see that it has a few other features as well, where it can generate AI generated B-roll, I'd assume, translate your captions, focus on eye contact, where it's got the eye tracking, as well as enhance your audio. And basically the entire workflow is just clicking on create project. And if you're making short form content, you're of course clicking on the generate captions option. If you're repurposing long form content like a podcast or a long YouTube video into multiple clips for some bonus content, maybe to funnel to that long form content as well, then you click right here. But you'd simply just click right here, upload that file as long as it's less than 5 minutes and less than 2 gigabytes in MP4 or MOV file format. And then basically it's going to go through and analyze the video and then allow you to choose from different styles of captions. It's got a wide range of the fonts, the colors, the text effects, and everything like that. You can then go into post-production one step further, add your AI generated overlays, cut out any dead space, clear out any sections of the video that you want entirely removed, and then go ahead and click save and your video is completely ready. And there you have it, the entire rundown of my 2 top favorite AI tools right now in the game when it comes to growing on social media. And I'll leave links down in the description below to check out both for yourself, and make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.